Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital and welcome back to the Rekt Capital channel here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin and also Ethereum, which is doing some interesting things near its downtrend line. Any case, like the video if you like these sort of updates, and let's jump into it. So this is the monthly time frame for Bitcoin, and you can see that this point of rejection from around July, June, the summer of 22, this is where we rejected. So that's a macro range high that we're forming at the moment, and this is the macro range low where Bitcoin was holding support throughout the summer of 2022. But this is where it lost this level as a support, and since then we've been able to break back into the range. So essentially this was a downside deviation from that range, but now we're tapping this range high once again. So this level is reaffirming itself as a resistance, and if this continues to be the case, then we could set ourselves up for a dip just to reaffirm this level back as support. So in a nutshell, this level is being reaffirmed as a resistance for the time being. So it could be possible that we have to now then, after breaking back into the range, reaffirm this level as a support. So some consolidation could take place for as long as it needs to take place before there is a break to either side of the range. And after seeing a deviation like this, it feels a bit unlikely that we'll deviate once again unless we deviate for a higher low, which would be an interesting sort of development in price action. But let's take it as it goes. For the time being, we're going to be establishing a new home. That is this range, 20k to 23.5 roughly speaking. So we're trying to reestablish this summer range essentially. And what's interesting about these levels is that there is a risk of Bitcoin establishing a new lower high, right, on the weekly time frame. And the thing about this lower high is, well, trying to break beyond this resistance of 23,400, there was a failed retest attempt here, which led to the bottom of the range. And now Bitcoin has recently weekly closed below this resistance, which now means that we're not even going to get that retest attempt, because of how low this weekly candle close occurred. So just based on this sort of change, we're seeing that this resistance is weighing down on price a little bit more than it did here. Of course, if we see some consolidation below this resistance, then that could actually be a good sign for Bitcoin managing to reclaim this level as a support before moving higher. But for the time being, there is a risk of a lower high here. Bitcoin needs to somehow reclaim this level as a support to move higher. And until that happens, then we're not going to get this range breakout. And as long as we continue to just hover and maintain these highs, then we're not going to get that breakout. And the thing to mention also is that Bitcoin needs to get back above the 200-week moving average, and it managed to do this briefly for a few weeks, holding support in the summer, but now we're still not managing to get there. So actually this range high here is a approximately confluent resistance for the time being, because this 200-week moving average is going to act as a resistance in the short term until it's reclaimed as a support before moving high. And probably by reclaiming this 200-week MA, we'll probably be able to get that decent follow through as opposed to what we saw over the summer. So this is a confluent resistance area, and if we're not able to reclaim this level or even this level, then this is going to be a point of rejection, probably setting up for a lower high and probably setting up for a dip and retest to as low as the 20k region. But at the same time, we have quite a bit of support here just below this range low, essentially, because this is the range low. And you can see that the range low has acted as a volatile range. We've seen downside wicking from this range many times. So even if a dip does occur, then we shouldn't discount the possibility of a downside wick happening and then slinking back up before the monthly closes. So really interesting to see how things pan out, really, because holding these monthly levels into the monthly close, that could set price up for something like this, where we'd see a red month next month potentially, and then rebounding. It depends on the time scale, how this monthly close will occur, and if we get a dip this month or next month. But in any case, a monthly close above this level would be really bullish. That would be a good sign for a breakout from this range. Monthly close below it, and we might have to consolidate a bit here before that next move up. But let's quickly focus on Ethereum before we wrap things up. And guys, remember, tomorrow the deep dive is coming out, 30 minutes long, about Bitcoin in a bit more detail, data science, macro perspectives, my personal investment strategy towards Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins. Check it out. Sign up to the Rekt Capital newsletter in the link in the description down below, because this deep dive is going to be available and exclusive for valued members of the Rekt Capital newsletter. So check out the link in the description to get that deep dive. But talking about Ethereum, multi-month downtrend here, and we're seeing that this is an upside wicking area where FOMOers are getting trapped before rejecting to lower levels. And that's why this Ethereum monthly close has to occur above this black diagonal so as to avoid these FOMO wicks. So the way that I'm thinking about this right now is a monthly close above here would be great, because that could set up a retest into the black diagonal, which is going to become a confluence support with this orange region here, right? And then that could enable a move back to this region, because essentially Ethereum is reclaiming this as a range low and this acting as a range high. So we're going to see some sort of consolidation for the time being, but this is a dipping scenario that I'm going to be watching out for, this retest followed by continuation into this orange area, and then we'll see how Ethereum behaves here, and whether or not we actually get some solid candle closes on the weekly beyond this region, because upside wicking is what we saw over the past few months. But let's see if we can actually get some solidified closes. So dip, retest, trend continuation, that could be a potential setup for Ethereum on the short side and also on the long side. But in any case, that's about it. Stay tuned for tomorrow's deep dive. There won't be a YouTube video as a result, because the deep dive is going to be quite a deep dive into data science metrics and the macro metrics, all of them that I've been watching and planning my investing strategy towards Bitcoin, and also looking at some valuable metrics about altcoins as well. In any case, stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, feel free to like this video if you enjoyed this one, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future, sign up to the Rekt Capital newsletter using the link in the description down below. In any case, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.